Hello, everybody, and welcome to English at Ease. My name is Adam, and in today's video, we are going to be learning English by hearing about the most popular slang in the year 2026. By learning these slang words and using them, you will be able to start to sound like a Gen Z English speaker in the year 2026. So pay close attention to the slow English that I will be speaking in this video as we explore some of these popular slang terms today. Now, the first slang that we are going to be learning today is to cook. Now, to cook is a verb that you are probably familiar with. This is probably something that you've heard before because to cook basically means to make different types of foods. But if you hear this term today, you need to try to figure out in what context it is being used. If somebody says to cook today, you need to figure out whether or not they are actually talking about cooking food. Because today, this term is also used very commonly as a slang. When somebody says that they are cooking, when somebody says that they are cooking, they might be talking about cooking food, but they also might be saying that they are doing a very good job at something. They are doing very good at something. So, for example, if you are playing a video game, if you're playing a video game with your friends and you are winning this video game and you are doing very good, you might say, I am cooking right now. And basically, you just mean that you're doing very good. Now, another slang term that is very popular today and very similar to the one that we just mentioned is the term cooked. Now, if you hear this slang term, you might think that somebody is using the slang term that we just talked about, to cook, but really they are not using the slang term. The term cooked, which is used in the past tense, it is the past tense of cook. So, for example, if you cooked a meal, if you are cooking a meal and you finish, then you might say you cooked a meal. So, this term is always used in the past tense, meaning that you did it in the past. Now, if you use it in the past tense, again, you might be talking about actually cooking food. You might be talking about cooking a meal, or you might be using the slang term cooked. To be cooked basically means that you are in a very bad situation that is not going to have a good ending. It means you have put yourself in a situation that is very bad and something very bad is going to happen to you, and you are probably not going to be able to get out of this situation. So, let's take an example to make this a little bit more clear. Let's say you are at school and you are sitting in class and you are having a conversation. You are having a conversation. You are talking with a student that is next to you, but you are not supposed to be talking. You are supposed to be listening to the teacher. Well, imagine that the teacher notices that you are talking, the teacher sees that you are talking, and the teacher says your name in a very angry tone. The teacher says your name in a way that sounds very, very mad. You might get a little bit scared, And your friend might turn to you and say, "You are cooked. You are cooked." Basically, by saying you are cooked, they are saying, "Oh no, something very bad is about to happen to you, and you are not going to be able to get out of this. You are not going to be able to resolve this situation easily." You can also use it in a way that is not super negative. For example, if you are playing video games with a friend and you are losing the video game, you are not doing very good, and you don't think there is any way that you are going to be able to win, you might say, "I'm cooked. I'm cooked," which basically means you don't stand a chance of winning. You are not going to be able to win. So this might be a little bit confusing if we compare it to the previous term, the term that we just talked about, because imagine you and your friend are playing a video game and one of you is winning and one of you is losing. Then we might say the person who is winning is cooking, they are cooking, and the person who is losing is cooked. So it's a little bit strange that we have these two terms that mean very different things. They mean almost the opposite. They mean almost the opposite of each other. They have very different meanings. Now, another very popular slang term that you will hear today is the term ghosted. Now, if you're familiar with the word ghost, you might be able to get a better idea of what this term means. A ghost is basically a person who is dead, but their spirit still lives on. Sometimes when somebody dies, people claim to see ghosts of that person. Sometimes people claim to see ghosts, and these ghosts are usually very hard to see, and they can disappear. They can disappear at any moment. So you might be looking at a ghost, but then all of a sudden that ghost might disappear. They might stop being able to be seen. Well, when we use the term ghosted, we are not actually talking about ghosts. Instead, what we are talking about is a certain situation that might occur when you are texting on your phone with somebody. When you are texting with somebody. So if you are texting with somebody like a friend or a girlfriend or boyfriend or really anybody on your phone, and you are having a conversation over text, if all of a sudden that person stops texting you, if you text them and they don't respond, they don't send a text back, we might say that you have been ghosted. You have been ghosted, and the other person on the other end has ghosted you because they stopped returning texts. They are ignoring you. They are not responding to the text that you sent them. This is what we call ghosting. So in the same way that people who believe in ghosts might think these creatures, might think these spirits can disappear, they can be seen and then all of a sudden disappear and not be seen. In the same way, when you are ghosted, the person that you are texting has stopped responding. They have disappeared. Now, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video learning some of these English slang terms to sound more like a English speaking Gen Z in 2026. For more videos like this one, where we learn English by listening to the language spoken in a slow, simple, and clear way, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.